Hey there, we are heading to our Azure Standard drop site, and it's at our friend's farm. We have our monthly pickup today, and I'm going to do a little video on our haul, and then hopefully later we will be able to get the meat birds transferred into the new tractors. Well, one of them is new. That was in our video last week, so you will be able to take a peek at that. I'll link it below. We basically just built another one from the original one we had. It works so well. And then we are going to be doing some preparations. Don't worry, I'm driving on our dirt road. We're going to be doing some preparations for some new livestock coming to the farm. And you probably, if you've been following along, you probably know what this is. The last few videos we have been talking about it, but I will go through and talk about things that we have on hand for welcoming new livestock in regards to wellness and health, and in regards to what the current what the livestock was currently eating, and what we do to help transition them to our farm. And yeah, so let's head to our Azure drop, and then we'll just go from there. Back from our Azure Standard pickup, and it went well. The kids got to play with all the other farm kids there, climbing trees, and they did help out unload the truck, so that was nice. I kind of joked around that there were so many kids there today that we could probably have all the kids unload the truck and us adults just sit back and watch them do it, because when you get a bunch of farm kids together, they tend to show off their ability to lift very heavy things because they're just used to it. But it was very nice. So I'm just doing a live unopening here. Well, live here, recorded and sent to you. So I'm opening my boxes as we go along. So if you were around for my Azure haul video last month, you'll see that I did not get the buckets I requested, but I got the lids because they're sold separately. But this month I'm happy to report that I got the buckets. These are 2-gallon sizes, and they make a very manageable size for just large snacks. We put the cat food in here and just other things that are not 5-gallon bucket worthy. So we got those. I got to tide us over until all our fruits start coming into season here. We got some canned fruit, so I got pear slices and pineapple chunks, and the pineapple chunks are good too because we save the juice to make sweet rolls with, sourdough sweet rolls. I swear every month we buy a bulk thing of the organic unsalted butter. That's how much butter we eat. We went through the whole thing plus some. Yeah, we went through the whole thing plus some last month, so that was eye-opening. We also use lard and bacon grease, so it's not like we're just using butter for everything. A big bag of the organic mandarin oranges. Please put it down. We tried these last month, the baby kosher dill pickles. They are fermented. They are delicious. Absolutely delicious. So we actually ordered 3 of them. We only ordered 1 last month, and we wanted to see how we liked them. They're delicious. So in addition, I got a new stainless steel funnel. I was desperately in need of one. I got the Alexandre grass-fed plain yogurt. I like using this yogurt to culture my yogurt. And it doesn't make any sense because you can always save batches or a little bit of yogurt from your previous batch. I always forget. And I'm always running to the grocery store to grab a cup of yogurt, and I don't like the selection there, and I end up spending a lot of money there. And so I just keep this in my fridge, and I just scoop off some to culture my yogurt, and it works well. And I like this yogurt as far as the taste of the culture so my yogurt tastes good using this to culture it. And I like the brand and all the things. So it will last a whole month in my fridge, and I will use this all month long to culture yogurt because we make a lot of yogurt. And, all right, so we got maple syrup. We use this to sweeten a lot of our baked goods.
Like cookies.
Like cookies. Coffee, all the things. Here's a quick one. We got a bulk case of the Safe Catch tuna. We really enjoy having those in the pantry for quick lunches. I told you we were getting more hot dogs.
I knew it.
So we got more hot dogs. This is the frozen box. These are the hot dogs we get. Everybody seems to like those. And these are something fun that we'll use for burger night. Especially come summertime, I like to can baked beans. And the kids aren't super thrilled about them. But then we'll do burgers, baked beans, and fries. So that's fun. I got another one of our little fruit and veggie surprise boxes. I got my first one last month, and I talked about how much I really liked it. And I just peeked inside of this one, and the variety is nice. They put 4 apples in here, so that was our snack on the ride home. They put a bunch of the mandarin oranges in here. There's some more beets. There's a couple grapefruit in here. There's a couple navel oranges, some red onion. They put avocados, and they're nice and hard so that they can ripen here at home. There's a couple bell peppers, a few mango, but there's something in here that's kind of gross and moldy looking, and yeah.
What does a couple mean? Isaac, you're in the camera. Ew.
I don't know. What is that? Is it an orange? I think it's an orange. It's really gross. And it touched the zucchini, so the zucchini's now. Oh, you know what? It might be a lemon, because here's the other lemon. There's a few sweet potatoes, garlic. The other zucchini look okay. And there's a big head of celery in here. And this is all organic. Overall, it's fine. There's only a few pieces in here that were unscathed. And the stuff that is, like, there's another zucchini that has just a teeny little spot on it that's gonna go bad. I'll probably just end up using all that right away. So overall, not a bad deal for that box. Chocolate. So we got mini chocolate chips. We love using these in muffins and in protein bars.
Chocolate.
Just some whole oat flour. We use that for
Oatmeal.
protein bars. I got another bag of brown sugar just to make sure our stock is enough. Sugar. And a bag of rolled oats. So this is basically the baking box. And if you're interested in Azure and you're kind of tuning in for the first time, seeing all this stuff, the previous video that I had filmed has more information about how this stuff is packed and what pickups and ordering kind of look like. So again, that video is linked below. Okay, we got diced tomatoes. I like those jars. Yeah, I like those jars of the Jovial brand diced tomatoes because they're bigger than cans. And really the only time I use diced tomatoes is in a big casserole or a soup like chili. And I would use 2 cans, but here I can just use the 1 jar. This is a 10-pound box of raisins because I have 4 children. I'm gonna do my best to lift all this stuff up. A big old thing of, there's 12 jars of pasta sauce in here. Our pasta that we like to get is the Jovial brand gluten-free brown rice pasta, and they did not have that in stock. I usually get a case of that, so I think it's 12 boxes. We just got a pasta roller, and so maybe that's just a sign that we need to try that out. And I've been delaying too long.
You're forgetting that flour stuffed over there.
Yes. I'm not dragging it over here. I have a 25, it's raining. I have a 25-pound bag of all-purpose flour, it's organic, and I have a 25-pound bag of basmati rice. And that's also organic. We split that with 2 other friends. So they went ahead and wanted a couple pounds. And so they also ordered banana chips, and we love them so much. And so we went 3 ways on a super huge amount of banana chips, and so they have those, and we're going to divide them up, and when we see each other next, we're going to pass out our portions. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to put all this stuff away. That is probably the longest part, and I think the kids are going to rummage around and find a snack, probably one of those mandarin oranges.
Maybe.
Okay, it's a cold, rainy day, and I have been getting ready for a pop-up market tomorrow, and I won't be here to help with any movement of meat birds into their tractors. So, Farmer Josh got home from work a little early today, and we are going to move the meat birds in the cold and the rain. But it's not too cold. That would hinder the meat birds from going out. They've been without the heat lamp for a while, just that one freezing night. But that's not in the forecast at all. So let's evict some meat birds out of the brooder. Okay, Farmer Josh, what have you got?
Jumper cable, I guess.
Homemade jumper cables with what? An old piece of
Extra wire.
extension cord?
No,
Is that what it is?
I don't know. We just had it here. So.
Oh, we found it here. Some alligator clips. So we have our old hog net fence. We don't use this anymore, mainly because we forest the hogs and it gets caught, and
grounded a lot on trees, and it just doesn't work for our hogs right now. But we like to put it around the chicken tractors, and we don't want to buy another Energizer, so we're going to get creative and jump our current fence to this one. What is happening is we are going to use one tractor at first just because they are small, and then we will upgrade to the second tractor that we built for, was it from last weekend? The video is linked below, but then we will run 2 tractors with them once they get a little bigger. And the hog net fence all along here, we kind of place it like a lane because we're just moving them forward every single day. And the poultry net that we have from Premier One is already energized with a solar energizer. And so those jumper cables are gonna hook one fence to the other to energize them both without having to bring out another solar energizer. Now that also means that we need to keep the meat birds close to the chickens, which is fine because our chickens are in a mobile coop as well. And so typically we move our mobile coop about once a week right now. On rainy days like this, we've had a few of them in a row. We should be moving it a bit more because it can get really swampy. But actually in this area, we don't really care because it's going to be some garden space eventually. But anyways, so we move this about once a week, but we move the meat bird tractor once a day. And so we'll just kind of move the meat birds in the surrounding area around the chicken tractor for our laying hens. And that will allow us to jump their fence to the meat bird fence. So the hog net fence is only about 3 foot tall. But what it does is we keep the meat birds in the tractor, and what it does is it at least deters some of your lower ground predators from accessing the tractor. It's not a surefire way to protect them. Really, nothing is if you're pasturing your animals like this. And I say nothing, there could be something really great, but for us, we already have I got somebody leaning over the wall. We have something already here and established, and it throws off a good shock. So we did have a fox problem last year, and we found out that it did deter a fox from trying to get the meat birds. So it's a win in our books.
We're about halfway. Yeah. Maybe take a week.
Remember like the chickens that we roast in the oven? That's what they are. Farmer Josh is not a fan of meat chickens. Probably because you're such a big red meat eater. You would rather have sheep and cows all day long.
I like chicken wings.
Oh, he likes chicken wings, which is why you're helping.
That's right.
Yay, 53 meat birds. You did it, I'm proud of you.
Absolutely disgusting.
Buy the hose so we can hose it out. Good morning. We've been up since before dawn. Today's the day we go to pick up
Cows.
our new cows. And we're excited. So I'm pouring some coffee. For the love of raw milk and cows. We get up way before we normally do. Let's see. We're getting cows. When we come home, we will show everything that we have ready for them, including a full introduction, who they are, where they come from, what our plans are, and ultimately how we hope to take care of them, how to steward them, and what we hope that how they will be beneficial for us and for our family. So let's go. So we got them loaded up and they did great. We didn't have many strong gates or anything to really corral them or push them, just some single strand poly wire, and they did wonderful. Ooh, the sun. So Farmer Josh is behind me with the trailer, and we are going to carefully drive home. Unfortunately, the rubber mat in the trailer is wet and slippery from such a cold morning with the heavy dew on it, and the rain that we just got over the last few days. So we want to make sure that they're not really slipping and sliding around, and that we can bring them home safely. It's less than an hour home, so we are not super concerned about like a shipping fever type of situation, but we do have immune boosting tinctures and things like that to have on hand, and just make sure they get probably like a little garlic and apple cider vinegar in their water, just to kind of give them a good boost from travel, and just to make sure that their guts are healthy and full of wonderful bugs and all the things, so that they don't run into any illness issues or hopefully no respiratory issues. We are home. Hello, girls. So we're home, and it was an uneventful ride. However, the cows laid down in the trailer, and so they are just covered in mud and wet on their bellies and her udder, and
So it'll be a good meeting of the cows when I go to wash that all off. So we have our bale of chaff hay, and I'm going to get the hose right now to hook up to the water trough. We had scrubbed that out when Scout and Maple left. We scrubbed everything, and I went and got them their loose minerals in the bucket. And we have, what is going on here? Oh, we have the salt block ready. Come on, let's get the hose. You want to get it? You want help? He's not happy. I think he wants a snack. So come on. We're just checking the fence line real quick just to make sure everything is off of it in regards to the fence line that's in the woods, and we'll test it, make sure it's super hot, because they are going to test this fence.
Release the Kraken. Clara, let him walk around. Just be careful. They're not used to us. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Minnie, wait for her to watch. Oh, you good. You good.
She hurt her foot. Who? Who, Minnie?
Winnie.
Oh, Winnie.
So maybe it's just because she's on that.
All right, so it's time for some formal introductions. Meet Winnie and her 1-year-old calf, Minnie. So Winnie is, hold on, baby, officially a mini Jersey. However, she is a larger mini Jersey, so she could classify also as a small standard size Jersey. No, ma'am. You tired, I know. She was bred to a mini Jersey bull, and so Winnie, her calf, is more mini Jersey than her mother, so she will be even smaller. Winnie has A2 proteins, and her genetic testing says that she will be a great candidate for her milk to make some excellent cheese for us, which we are very interested in. And at this point, we're just getting her really comfortable with us. She has been halter trained before, but hasn't been on a lead line in a while, so we're just working on that. She's gonna walk our fence line, find out where her food and water are. She's gonna rest. We're all gonna get comfortable with each other. And then, since she's in late lactation and Minnie actually still nurses, once we become quite comfortable with each other, we will start milking Winnie just to establish that relationship. And then we will breed her and dry her off. Minnie, her calf, will get bred near the end of this year because she just turned 1 year old. So we'll work with both of them at the same time, preferably, for haltering, lead line, and milking.
It's on, Dad.
So the girls are starting to settle in. It's probably been about 4 hours since we brought them home. They found the hay ring, and they are basically just wandering the perimeter and hollering. And so we will probably hear them all tonight too. And that's fine. They are just looking for their herd, and you know, it hurts our feelings a little bit, but part of the reason why our friend offered Winnie to us and her calf was that Winnie is very pushy. She is pushy with the other cows in the lane. She likes to try and fight her way to the top, and the other cows are reminding her that she is not the leader. And because she is a smaller cow and she's a lower producer and she's getting pushed around while also trying to be pushy herself, it was best that she just come to us where we don't have any other cows and she can live her matriarch life here. And I think there's going to be some transition with that, and we're going to see her transition into a role of being the head of the herd. And so it's going to be really good to see, because if that's her born personality, then I would love to see it come to fruition. Seeing that she is already really great on the lead, and she's really great with me, you know, messing around with her udder and her teats. I don't see where in the next couple of days we can try to just tie her up or put her in a stanchion and start milking her. So good morning from day 2 of having Minnie and Winnie out in our pasture. They seem to have calmed down. They still holler at us anytime we're out there, but they will become more comfortable with us here soon. What I am going to do, and what the plan is I am going to basically go through all the motions of milking Winnie. And Minnie is still nursing. She does not have her weaning ring in. And so we have them now. They came to us in the mail yesterday. So now the goal is that we become so familiar with milking her that we become confident enough that if we were to wean Minnie, that we have no problem milking Win once a day. And so I just want to ensure that we are able to do that before we go ahead and wean Minnie. So we are going through the motions. The kids, it's early in the morning, so the kids are outside. They're starting chores. I'm going to go help them finish it up, and then we'll get to the cows and see what we can do. All right, so we are going to go get some chaff hay for the girls. We have some warm rags, and basically us mimicking milking hers, just kind of going through some of the basic motions, like washing off her udder with a warm rag, and like putting our hands all over her, and even like maybe giving a few squeezes. I'm assuming her bag is not full at all because we are late getting out here. Because my oldest here will be a future milkmaid. She comes with me at most of every, or she will be coming with me at most of every milking and just brushing or handling, just because we want them to get used to this smaller human that will be helping me. So she has a curry comb that she'll probably just work on brushing while we tie up Winnie. I'm gonna attempt to get a halter on Winnie today, but we'll see. She's still a bit of a feral, I would say feral, not really feral, but she's a bit of a feral heifer. Well, that was chaotic. Oh my goodness. All right. So we've got like all the supplies out here. Winnie did amazing. We got the halter on Minnie, so that is a huge thing. That's a huge success. She is angry. So it is going to take daily determination to get a lead on her and just have her stand. She will eventually warm up to us, knowing that we are safe and that she gets treats when she stands, and that hopefully we can walk her on the lead. But even if we can't fully train her to walk on the lead like Winifred there, we just need her to get to where we need her. And having a halter on her right now for training is the best way to teach her that. I would say today was a really big success, and this one couldn't have done it without her. So thanks, kid. I mean, well, now we're gonna have to go see if we have poop all over us, but hey, cow poop is what we live for. High five, girlfriend.